Hi everyone, today I'm going to be playing Port Royal Just One More Contract, which is the first expansion for Port Royal, and it includes a cooperative variant which can be played solo, and that's what I'm going to be doing today. But the rules are the same for the normal cooperative version. You can just imagine there's more players discussing things and working together. So the main objective is, rather than the normal Port Royal of just earning the most points, there are these contracts. There are 3 in the solo game, and you need to fulfill these contracts by the end of the game. And to make a little timer for the game, we make a time deck. And to do that, you take 13 cards, no matter how many people are playing, add together the numbers on your contract cards that you've drawn. So I've just got 1 extra card there, and there are 2s and -1s. And then you add a number of cards equal to the number of different letters on the corner of the contracts. So I've got 2 different letters, so I added 2 more cards. Then you get to choose how many cards you want to take out. At the start of every turn, you're going to take a card off this time deck. And if you run out of time, then the game's over. So you're going to have less time the more you choose to take out at the start of the game, but these are points at the end of the game. And there is another little way of scoring points. So I'll give you a quick overview if you've never played Port Royal, but there'll be a link as always if you want to skip that. So in Port Royal, we start off with 3 money. The objective of this solo game is going to be to fulfill these contracts. So Pack of Pirates, we need to fend off 5 different coloured ships. And whenever we complete these contracts, we are going to get some more money. We need to hire 4 members of staff that cost 3 or less coins. And we need to have these 2 traders working for us as well. So if traders are cheap, then those 2 could work out very well together. I have taken 3 cards out of the timer deck, so I'm not sure how much harder that'll make it for us. So on a turn of Port Royal, you draw from the big deck, and there will be people that you can hire. There will be ships that can get you money. There are also tax increases that will give you some extra money or punish you if you have too much money. If you have over 12, they'll punish you. But when a tax increase comes out in this variant, then we can take 1 off the time. We have the option to take something off the time deck and put it in our victory pile. So that's how we can get extra points. So on your turn, you can just keep drawing as many cards as you want. You stop when you choose to, or if you draw 2 of the same coloured ship. Oh, there we go. So now I have bust, and they all go away. I don't get to take anything. But if I had stopped before, I would now have a choice. If there are 0 to 3 different coloured ships out, so there are 2 at the moment, you may take 1 card. And that is changed later on in the game by powers. If there are 4 different coloured ships out, you can take 2 cards. And if there are 5 different coloured ships out, you can take 3 cards. If you take ships, like these 2, you can gain this many coins. All of the cards in the game are a coin on the back. So to gain a coin, you just draw from the deck and don't look at the other side. This is a special card that comes in the expansion. And when you take this, you would normally get 3 coins and then give a coin to a player of your choice. But in the solo game, you just ignore that part. So that's just taking a ship. You can also grab people for this amount of coins paid for from your supply, and they will give you certain different powers and are worth points. So the power of this guy is when you take a yellow ship, you may get an extra money. And he's worth a point if we need points. In the normal game, you want to get up to 12 points. And there are some objectives that I've seen that want you to get points. There are a ton of different people in this deck doing all sorts of different things, and we'll mainly explain them as we come across them. So let's just get started. So what we want to do is fend off ships, which we'll do by gaining sword cards, get cheap staff, and get traders, who are hopefully cheap. So first turn of the game, I start off with 3 money, as in the normal game. The first card that I draw comes from the timer deck. So we've got a green ship, and I should get rid of the top few cards of this deck because I've been using them for the examples. Okay. So I'm going to keep going. I've got 3 different coloured ships now. But you see, that is all the more likely that there is going to be a ship of the same colour coming out from the deck next. So do I want to stop and just grab 3 money? Or do I want to push my luck? Let's push my luck. Okay, we have a governor. He costs 8 money and lets you take an extra card from the display. So he's not even an option because I've only got 3 money right now. So let's draw something else from the deck. Okay, a trader who costs 3. I think, although it would take all of our money, that would be really good because we need 2 traders to fulfill this contract and 4 members of staff that cost 3 or less. So I think I'm going to spend all 3 of my money and I am going to buy this trader who comes down here. And if we can draw some red ships in the future, that will help us out as well. So that was the first turn. Everything that didn't get taken goes away. In the non-solo game, other people would then get the chance to take some of those cards that I didn't get at the cost of paying me an extra money in addition to any other costs. So, next turn, we have got a black ship, a galleon, and another trader, which would be beautiful, but I have no money at the moment. So I'm thinking we just keep drawing until we get a ship with some good money on it. So we've got jesters there, if there are no cards available. So basically, if you bust, you get an extra money. And in the normal game, if anyone else busts, you will get a money. Captain, these symbols are used for doing expeditions, which earn you points and are in the deck and will come out. But we don't really need them for this set of objectives. Now, a frigate, I get an extra money for taking coins from this. But there are only 2 colours of ship out. Do I want to keep pushing my luck a little bit? Let's just try. Okay, so that's another person and another governor. So we've seen 2 of them, 2 jesters. What else? It's just a lot of staff. There are much better ships available, which presumably have more coins on. There is one with 6 swords and one that cannot be fought off at all. Hopefully we'll get some swords later on and be able to fight some of these off. So you can see now there is a ton of cards coming out. But now I have 3 different colours, so I might want to think about stopping. But I am terrible at push your luck games. I do not want to stop ever. And I love when you can get swords later on in the game and just never stop drawing. So now I have 4 different ship colours. So I can take 2 cards. So I think I'm going to stop there, even though it kind of wastes all of this stuff that's available. I could draw again and really hope for one more different colour, because then I would be able to get 3, 4, 5 money and buy a trader. Well, actually, I could get 3 money from there and get the trader. So I think I'm going to do that. Let's take the red ship for the 3 money. 1, 2, 3. And let's use that 3 money to buy this trader. So now, not only do we have 2 members of staff that cost 3 or less, we also have 2 traders. So I can fulfill this contract, put my cube here, and grab 3 money. And no more traders came out, although we don't really need... Oh, there was another trader. So I could have had one for black, but I don't think it makes much difference at the moment. I don't think we've seen really high numbers of either of them. So that was the turn. I have 3 money. Let's go for the next one. So first card comes from the time deck over there. So we have another red ship. I like red ships. Another trader. But I have fulfilled the traders and he costs 5, so he isn't really very good to me. So another ship. See, galleons aren't that useful. I have bonuses for red and blue. Oh no. And there we go, we have bust. That would have been perfect. I could have got 5 money from that, but I have no swords to fight these off. And that is 2 of the same kind, so they are just gone. So that is a turn wasted. Let's go again. Let's see, Admiral. If you have 5 or more cards in the display, get 2 extra coins, and he costs 7. So he is no good to me. Tax increase. Okay, so if I had 12 or more coins right now, I would lose half of them. And in anything but the solo, you would look at the person who has the most swords, and they are cards that you can buy, and that person would get an extra coin. In the solo game, you're always the person with the most swords, so I get a coin anyway. And that just goes away. When the tax increase comes out, I have the option of moving a card from the timer deck to the victory deck. But I am not that confident that I am going to triumph here, so I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to hope to muddle through and accept whatever small amount of points I get. So there we have another trader. We have a settler. So no ships at the moment. Now that is worth 4 coins to me, so it might be worth stopping there and hoping for swords. There's been no swords yet. Let's stop there and grab 4 coins from this blue ship, because it's 3 plus 1 from my card there. I grab them from the big deck. Of course, grabbing this money, swords could all be in this money and I'll never know. So next turn, let's grab 1 from the timer deck. So that is a 3 gold green ship. Oh, and that's a bit of bad luck. The first card from the normal deck is another 3 gold green ship. So let's go to the timer deck again and start a new turn. So Jester, not that useful to me. Tax increase, so I get another coin, but I'm not going to take the optional victory point. Let's keep drawing. So I could have 3 coins from a galleon. I have a gunner. So I want cheap staff or swords. So that's a vice admiral. He costs 5. Another one. He costs 5. Mademoiselle costs 7, but makes other staff members cheaper. We have a captain. Let's keep going. An admiral. All of the expensive people right here. It's 4 people. Mademoiselle again. Okay, now we have 2 different colours and that is worth 4 money, but I have a lot of money. I don't want to bust though, and right there, all of these cards go to waste. But wow, no cheap people have come along for a while, and no swords at all, I don't think. Unless I've missed them, which is quite possible. So new turn, we have a red ship, which is worth 4 coins to me. We have a very expensive worker. So let's brush straight past him and find another red ship. This is going terribly. Okay, again. So we have found an expedition. The expeditions kind of go off up here and can be fulfilled if you want to trade 2 workers with these symbols. You can earn 4 points and grab 2 money to do that. And that can be useful in certain objectives do want you to get to a certain number of points. So drawing from the normal deck, we have an admiral. He costs 9 again. Jester costs 5. A galleon. And another one. Oh no! Everything is kind of in the perfect order to mess me up here. Okay, we have found swords. I think I'm just going to buy swords straight away. So that's 3 money. So now we can fend off ships that have just 1 sword on the bottom. New card from the timer deck. Its time is running out. So expensive member of staff. Expedition just goes up there. Another expensive person. Tax increase. So I earn a money. And I'm not going to take that victory point because that timer pile is looking very thin. So now do I buy another sword? I think so. 3, 4, 5. That would leave me with 2 money. So let's spend 5 and grab this second sword down here. So now I can fend off these ships. You can only choose to fend them off when they come out, but any ships with 2 I can fend off now. And I want to do that for this objective. So neither of those are any use to me. I am going to choose to fend this ship off. The swords don't get used. I can just keep fending things off if I want to. So I'll put this up here to show that I have done yellow. Next, an expensive worker. I don't need him. Another one that costs more than 3. A ship that has 1 sword, I will fend that off. So I've done 2 of the 5 colours. Let's see, another sword. Let's keep going because we've only got 1 colour out here. A blue, I will fend that off with my 2. So now we just need a red and a black ship fended off. So we don't want that person. See, the sailor here would... This sailor would cost 3 and be the 4th person that costs 3. But I only have 2 money. So really, that guy costs 7. He has swords though. It's a shame, just 1 more. So we have a red ship. Let's see, a double sword. That would have been nice earlier on. Oh, and another red ship. That is unfortunate because we could have at least gotten some money out of that. And that's a lot of swords out of the window. But we did make some progress. That's 3 of the 5 ships have been fended off. So we have another yellow. I think I will get rid of that. It's only 2 coins and it keeps us drawing. A blue, let's get rid of that. Tax increase, so I earn a money, which is good because now if a cost 3 comes out, I can afford it. So let's see, a vice admiral there. A galleon, let's fend that off. That's 4 there. We just need a red ship, and then we've done that objective. And if we can also find a member of staff that costs 3 or less, we've done this. So a yellow ship, I will fend that off. A green ship, I only have 2 swords, so I can't stop that. But I don't want the green ship. A black ship. So now it's getting risky. Captain costs 4, so he isn't very useful to me. Now, sailor that costs 3. So taking him would basically get me this objective and increase my chances of fending off a red ship on the next turn. But the next turn is going to be the last turn. So do I keep going or stop? You always keep going. So we have a trader. Mademoiselle. We have another black ship, which would be terrible, but I've got 2 swords. So that's gone. We have Jack of all trades. A yellow ship. See, now it is getting scary because there are 3 different ship types out there. And I'm just after the red. All I need is a red that I can fend off. So I think before we lose it, let's buy the sailor. That's all of my money. But I now have 4 members of staff that cost 3 or less. So I can cover up this space and I gain 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's my turn. So now, oh, we get rid of all this as well. This is the last time card. And, oh wow, that is lucky. That is a red ship with 3 swords on it. I have 3 swords. Oh, very blurry there. I have 3 swords, so I will fend off that ship. And that is all 5 colours done. And just in the nick of time, I'll grab the 3 money for that, although it's irrelevant. Just in the nick of time, I have managed to do this. I can keep going really and carry on, but there's no points really. The points are doing these objectives. So my final victory points are basically the cards I set aside at the beginning, so the cards I took out of the timer deck before I started playing, and every time one of those tax increase cards came out, I could have paid to... Well, I could have taken a card off the time deck and put it on my victory pile, but I didn't, so I've got the 3 I originally took off the timer deck. And have a quick look at the table here. 3 points, I am a sailor. So I'm not a landlubber, but I am certainly not ruler of the seas. I'd have to take a lot out there. But, as I said, I like to push my luck in games, and that is not a wise strategy a lot of the time. So some other available objectives like this is have 4 ships of different colours in the available area, get certain different types of member of staffs. That's just 3 different ships, but you need to do it twice. So your first cube would go on there, and then the second time you did it, you would be able to fulfill the contract. Pay 15 money, and these blue ones are only available in the cooperative version. You can just add these competitively, and it's just earning extra cash. And if you get to take a certain number of them, you can get points if you fulfilled 2 or 3, because you can only ever fulfill 3 because you only have 3 cubes. That's a cooperative one. Earn 12 points like in the normal game, and that's when the points on the people you've hired will matter, and maybe it will be worth doing expeditions because now they are worth points as well. We have the tax officer, and so that is just immediately pay taxes. Oh, so it's when a tax card comes out, when you pay taxes, you can put your cube on this and gain a ton of money back. And all sorts of things. Be the first to have 3 swords and things. So it works really well competitively, and I wouldn't say it's as good cooperatively, but it's definitely fun having a different way to play and having the option to play on your own as well. There is, as you can see, a huge deck, made even bigger by this expansion, although it doesn't add that many. It's just a great push your luck, quick little game. I hope you enjoyed that, and see you next time. Bye everyone.